Dan, shops are still closed at North Hills in Raleigh tonight, where shooting left one man dead, a bystander wounded, and we are hearing from that bystander, and the suspect is in critical condition. Hello, everyone. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Gerald Owens. It was a day of violence and confusion at North Hills. This is what we know so far about this breaking news. A man who suffered non-life-threatening injuries spoke with WRAL's Sarah Kruger and says there is still a bullet lodged in his hand. Witnesses are telling WRAL that the shooter was the restaurant's head chef, George Colomb. And witnesses also say that the victim who died was a server at the restaurant.
WRAL was on the scene moments after we learned of the shooting, and we have been providing extended team coverage today. Let's continue that team coverage now with Dan Haggerty. Dan?
Of course, police still have areas of North Hills locked down, continuing their investigation. I think it's important we get right to this piece of developing news, maybe the most important piece of news that we have learned since this all broke this morning at 11 o'clock. WRAL investigates Sarah Kruger able to speak to the employee who was inside, who was shot during this chaos. It is an interview you are only going to see right here on WRAL. Sarah, we'll send things over to you. This man is helping to answer so many questions that people have had throughout the day.
Dan, he is. I was out here in the parking lot right outside Coquette, and I saw a man walk up with a cast on his arm, and it was clear he had been through a lot. So I got out of my car, I went up and I talked to him, and it turns out he is the surviving victim in all of this. I talked to him. He told me everything that happened here inside Coquette today. He also identified the man who died in this. He says that is his co-worker, whose name is Jonathan Schaefer. As for that alleged gunman, Colomb, he has worked in restaurants all over the state, and we have also found he spent time in prison.
Yeah, so there's a bullet still lodged in my hand here.
Jonathan Aguilar still has a bullet lodged in his arm. The whole day, a traumatic blur.
I imagine you're still processing everything.
It feels like a dream, honestly. Like, I don't feel like I've experienced it, but I have.
Aguilar says the restaurant was 5 minutes from opening when a routine staff meeting turned into a murder scene.
It's just like, pew, 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 and I just ducked. Head chef George is the one who had the gun.
Gosh, why?
I'm not entirely too sure, honestly.
He says he had seen no red flags in Colomb's behavior. WRAL Investigates found, though, he does have a criminal past. Before his 11 years working in restaurants all over North Carolina, he was in federal prison. In 2011, court records obtained by WRAL show George Colomb was convicted of possessing a stolen firearm in New Mexico. He was sentenced to 40 months. In North Carolina, he also had some run-ins with the law for minor drug charges. Aguilar says Colomb was well-liked at Coquette, making his actions today all the more perplexing.
No one there had any reason to hate him or dislike him or have anything personal against him, you know, not to my knowledge.
And Colomb's most recent run-in with the law before today was actually just 3 days ago. In Orange County, he pleaded guilty to misdemeanor leaving the scene of an accident. For that, he was ordered to pay about $200 in court costs. So, Dan, that was 3 days ago. Now, here we are today with this tragic situation.